Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from men only. Again, please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
I'm so sorry, but no amount of money could make me hang out with an ugly dude. Like, I'm walking down the street in Miami. This is like the street in Brickell.
Like, imagine if men said something like this. There's no money in the world that will let me want to hang out with an ugly chick. She's too ugly.
Where you always see an
canceled immediately.
ugly ass dude with the hottest girl on his arm. And I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, money's not that hard to make. It's not. You don't have to hang around ugly men if you want money. Also, what do you think is gonna happen as soon as you get older? You're just gonna get a new one. Like, it's not even smart money. You're not. These girls always act like they're cheat coding, cheat code. Okay, you sacrificed your happiness for a handbag, for a piece of leather that's probably fake anyways. I don't know. It's just actually so insane to me. You actually could never pay me for that to be my lifestyle, because it's literally so much easier to just make it yourself, get your own self the handbag, and then you can date literally whoever you want.
Here's the thing.
You might think that, but you still can't date whoever you want because you're making videos like this because you're still single.
This woman strutting down the streets of Miami declares, loud and proud, that no amount of money could make her hang out with an ugly dude. Bold statement, right? But the irony? It's coming straight from someone with a face that could give a horse some serious competition. Let's talk about double standards for a second. She's out here putting men on blast, judging them solely on their looks, as if her own appearance is somehow above scrutiny. The audacity to call someone ugly when, let's be honest, her mirror probably has some complaints of its own, is nothing short of laughable. What's even funnier is how this mindset has become normalized. Women like her walk around with a laundry list of requirements for men.
Again, average, normal women and even uggos all kind of have this mentality that they think that uggo men are above them, or even average men, because they think the average men are uggo.
Looks, height, bank account, personality, while bringing nothing to the table but inflated egos and delusional self-perception. It's all entitlement, no self-awareness. And let's not ignore the deeper issue. Reducing people to their looks or wallet is shallow, no matter who's doing it. But it's especially hypocritical when the one throwing stones is living in a glass house. Respect and connection should go beyond surface-level judgments, but for some, that seems to be a foreign concept. The truth is, if she's prioritizing looks and ignoring character, loyalty, or compatibility, she's setting herself up for a lifetime of disappointment. Because here's a spoiler, beauty fades, and money can't fix an ugly soul.
So I'm in my car right now after a first date.
But money can fix an ugly.
If we can even call it that. I just had to tell this story while it's still fresh and the emotions are still percolating. This guy had messaged me for several weeks on and off sporadically, usually asking if I was free last minute. Finally, he commits to 2 days in advance and says, how about Tuesday night? Great, Tuesday night works. He suggests the bar, suggests the time. I say perfect. So we're both running a little late. It's fine. It's LA and there's always traffic. I get to the bar before him and the door is locked. Because of course it's mid-December. Companies are having private parties. I don't blame him for that. But I tell him I think they're having a private event. The door is locked. There's catered food outside on the patio. Do you know of anywhere else? So he's taking forever to park, which, again, LA, it happens. Finally, he walks up, not looking...
Why I hate going to LA.
Totally unkempt, but the vest he's wearing, I find out he's doing house renovations. Clearly, he is painting in that fucking vest. So he tells me, I'm kind of new to this neighborhood. I don't really know what else is around. I had already looked in my phone while I was waiting for him. I say, I only see one bar within walking distance. Let's give it a try. Now, granted, I have had a very long day. No, a very long month, a very long quarter at work. I am so decision fatigued and tired of running the lives of grown-ass adults. But still, here I am, leading the way in this man's neighborhood. And
do you not want to go out? Like, sometimes you gotta put in the work. It is what it is. Why you have to complain about every time you put in work for men?
So we get to the alternate bar. It's a little hole in the wall place. I'm thinking maybe it'll be a little loud in there, not the easiest for us to have a conversation. But it's not anything super sketchy or out of the ordinary for a dive bar. But clearly he's uncomfortable being there. I ask, do you want to get a drink? And he just kind of stands around and looks like, do I? But then I'm looking at the clientele, and I have no way to verify this, but I have a sneaking suspicion he's uncomfortable because most of the patrons are not white. And I'm like, okay, dude, I don't care if you want to stay or want to go, but for the love of God, just make a choice. And he's like,
Can he just be weirded out because he's in a new spot with a whole bunch of different people he's not so sure about and he's not used to the environment? That's also possible. Why does it go to straight racism off the bat?
oh, we could maybe get a bottle of wine, go back to my place in my courtyard. And I'm like, how far is it? Clearly it's far enough that you had to drive here. So we start walking back. He had already told me about the shitty stuff he had to deal with today. He starts asking me about mine. And I'm just like, I gotta be honest, man. This shit is not helping. So we start walking back to the original bar where we met because they do have a little food stand where you can buy some beers and wine. And I say, okay, do you want to just grab a glass of wine or a beer here? And he's like, yeah, sure, we could do that. But, can I Zelle you? He's like, yeah, I was actually running late because I forgot my wallet. Can I Zelle you for the cost of a bottle of wine? And as a disaster of a human being who loses shit all the time, if that had happened to me, which it very well could, the first thing I would have said when I rolled up late would be, I'm so sorry. I could not find my wallet anywhere. I was looking for it, but I didn't want to keep you waiting any longer. But no, he doesn't mention it then, doesn't mention it at any point in the 15 minutes we spend walking around.
Why does it really matter? I don't think you're actually going to really care if he's late because of missing his wallet.
On the block. And honestly,
Like women say that you'll be more understanding if he actually explained it, but then when men do explain it, you just don't care.
again, I get it. Shit happens. But what gets me, what really fucking gets me, is that there's no hint of accountability whatsoever. Not one utterance of, I'm sorry, I fucked up. That's what I find inexcusable. That and the potential racism.
Yeah, we can also say the same thing for women. They never say sorry or apologize for being late and stuff like that for us.
So I literally just look at him dumbfounded. Like, seriously, bro? No, I don't want to Zelle you. At
This woman really thinks that she's like top tier class woman out of all of LA or something.
this point. And he's like, oh yeah, let's just call it. And as I turn to walk to my car, he's like, oh, it was nice to meet you. And I'm like, let's be real here. Let's not pretend that this was cool. He just crosses the street, mumbling something to himself. Again, no apologies. And real talk, nothing about it shocks me. None of it. In the realm of dating horror stories, this wasn't all that bad. But it's just how pervasive and continuous it is. This man is 40 years old. And then people wonder why there's a male loneliness epidemic and shame women for choosing
No, men are choosing to be lonely because of women like you.
to be single. You think a sane person would choose to endure this? You want to complain how women are too emotional? Y'all are lucky I'm emotional. If I was thinking more logically, I'd have written you off a long time ago. And many women have. And you know what? More power to him. Because I don't begrudge any woman who doesn't want to spend her Tuesday night doing this.
Here's the thing. So, this woman goes on a date with a 40-year-old man she's been talking to for weeks. They've built up this rapport, this connection, and she's probably thinking, finally, a mature guy who's got it together. But guess what? He shows up late and pulls out the classic excuse. I forgot my wallet. And not just that, he still doesn't have it. Really? Makes sense, right? But let's dig into this for a moment. This isn't just about the guy. It's about her decision-making.
Yep.
You're telling me she's been chatting with this man for weeks and didn't pick up on any red flags?
Right.
If a man's showing you inconsistency during the talking stage, flaky behavior, excuses, or lack of effort, that's not a mystery to solve. It's a giant neon sign saying, this isn't the one. Here's where accountability comes into play. Why are so many women ignoring the obvious and diving into situations with men who've clearly shown who they are? If a guy's not making
Because this man's probably damn good looking.
an effort from the start, it's not going to magically change because you showed up looking pretty on a date. The truth is, sometimes women choose to overlook red flags because they've romanticized the idea of a connection that's not even there. And let's not forget, if this guy was late and didn't have his wallet, why didn't she just call it out or leave? Instead, she's sitting there mad, but she's still entertaining him.
Correct.
That's not empowerment. That's enabling. Ladies, if you keep entertaining mediocrity, that's exactly what you're going to get. Stop wasting your time on men who don't respect your time. And honestly, maybe ask yourself why you keep choosing situations where you know you're going to end up disappointed.
Because it was a Chad Roan.
Because at the end of the day, this wasn't just about a man forgetting his wallet. It was about her ignoring all the signs that said she shouldn't have even been on that date in the first place.
Feminism convinced society that we should believe all women, but the second stay-at-home moms say, we're really happy, feminists say, no, you're not. You're oppressed. Go get a job. Be a real woman.
That's a good point.
It's true.
Here's the thing. So, men aren't allowed an opinion, right? The second a man speaks up, it's toxic masculinity or fragile ego. Meanwhile, if a woman doesn't co-sign every single feminist talking point, suddenly, she's got internalized misogyny. You know what that is? It's just another way of saying, you're not agreeing with us, so there must be something wrong with you. It's control disguised as empowerment.
Yep.
But then, wait for it. A bearded dude in a dress gets applauded as being braver than the troops. That's somehow...
And gets put on TV and, makes good money doing it. And us men are just looking at it just like, should I just put on a dress now or what?
But now, they'll bend over backward redefining reality. But if you as a man say, hey, this doesn't make sense, you're labeled every insult in the book. And let's talk about the hypocrisy. These same people preach tolerance, right? Live and let live. But they don't actually take their own advice. No. Instead, they want to shove their worldview down everyone else's throat. Disagree? You're canceled.
I mean, I'm kind of part of it. I always try to shove, family and down your guys' throat in a bit, but I also know, protect yourselves. If you don't want a family, I'm also perfectly happy with you not wanting one on.
Ask questions? You're a bigot. They demand respect for their choices, but won't respect anyone else's. Here's the real kicker. They're pushing this on everyone, whether it's schools, media, or relationships. But when it all comes crashing down, who gets the blame? Men. It's always the men's fault somehow. It's exhausting, honestly. The bottom line? People need to stop forcing their beliefs on others and start practicing what they preach.
Agreed.
Men are tired of being silenced. Women who think differently aren't the enemy. And let's stop pretending that a double standard isn't glaring everyone in the face. If you want respect for your opinions, start respecting others. Simple as that.
I'm not saying all men, but some men will literally be out here selling you a fake dream and telling you exactly what you need to hear just to get what he wants.
Yep.
And then you complain about this to other people, and then other men will be like, oh, pick a better man. No, be a better man.
Here's the thing. If you're out here expecting
Do you expect all men to do that? Can you just find a better man?
bad men to magically transform into better ones just because you gave them your time, you're living in a dream world. The cold, hard truth is that people don't change unless they want to. And most aren't.
I mean, yes, people change, but almost always for the worse. Hardly ever people change for the better.
Signing up for a complete personality overhaul just because you hope they would. It's not about sitting around wishing for the player to become the husband or expecting a selfish dude to suddenly grow a heart of gold. That's on you to exercise wisdom, discernment, and boundaries when choosing who gets your time and energy. You can't change someone's character, but you can decide whether or not they even get to be in your life in the first place.
And the same thing for us men. If she's posting provocative videos, she's doing all of these things on Instagram and social media, you really think she's going to stop for you?
And let's be real, too often, the signs are there, waving like a bright red flag in the wind. He's inconsistent. He's not treating you with respect. He's playing games. That's your cue to walk away, not stick around trying to fix him like a DIY project. Men aren't fixer-uppers. They're either ready or they're not. Here's the flip side of it. If you're constantly finding yourself dealing with bad men, it might be time to ask yourself some tough questions. What are you prioritizing when you choose who to date? Is it character and values, or
Nope.
surface-level stuff like looks and charm. You attract what you tolerate, and you entertain what you think you deserve. At the end of the day, it's not about men being bad or good. It's about making smarter choices. The responsibility of picking better isn't on anyone else but you. Own that power, because the second you stop wasting time on the wrong people is the moment you make room for the right one.
Here's how I plan to find a husband in 2025 with the help of my vision board and ChatGPT. Starting with my vision board, I did put a man on my vision board in 2024, but I didn't find it, but it's okay. Basically, I put a man on here again a few times. I'm actually going to show you my vision board in another video. I'll just tell you how ChatGPT is going to help me find my husband. Basically, for years, I've had a list of all of the things, all of the traits, characteristics, everything that I want in my ideal man. It's good to do that, even if you don't do what I'm about to say next. I took my list and I said to ChatGPT, I said, if I want a man who has all of the qualities below, what type of woman do you think he would want? So I put them all in, and then ChatGPT says all of these traits that this man's ideal woman would have. Okay, some of them I'm good, some of them I'm good, some of them I could probably work on. And then I said, okay, period. Based on these qualities, what would the daily activities or schedule be of this woman? I get a whole schedule. Yep, I got a whole schedule between the wake up, the workouts, the breakfast, the work, everything. So this.
Okay, you have all this information now. Are you going to enact it in any way, shape, or form?
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow this schedule until I find my husband. And I'm going to refer back to my list often to make sure that I'm not veering from the list. I will let you know how it goes.
Here's the thing. So,
well, I mean, first, lose some weight. That'd be probably the most apparent thing. Second, we're getting reincarnated. You're already old, lady. We could tell you're probably in your mid-30s, maybe even 40s. It's going to be tough.
This woman is out here brainstorming how to find her husband in 2025.
Right? At least she went about it. What does that man want? And she's trying to become the woman that they want. At least she's going about it the right way.
Right? She's got this bright idea to list all the qualities she wants in a man. Tall, successful, kind, emotionally available. And then hops on ChatGPT asking for the ideal woman that such a man would want.
I'm surprised ChatGPT didn't say, there's no such man.
Look, I get it. Leveraging AI for love advice is peak modern dating energy, but let's break this down. She's essentially crafting a wish list for a man who probably exists in the top 5%, but then flips the script to see if she even qualifies for the kind of man she wants. The irony? She's letting a robot give her the reality check that real-life conversations with friends and family have probably been avoiding for years.
True.
Here's the hard truth she might not want to hear. If you're spending all this time figuring out what he wants instead of becoming your best self, you're already setting yourself up for failure.
True.
A relationship isn't about checking off a compatibility checklist like it's some Amazon order. It's about two people bringing their best selves together. And let's be real. When she inputs those dream qualities into ChatGPT, what's the answer gonna say? That the ideal woman for a successful, emotionally available, high-value man is probably someone with her own sense of purpose, kindness, emotional maturity, and self-awareness. Qualities that come from genuine growth and effort, not a cute prompt on the internet. The problem here isn't using AI for advice. It's the underlying mindset. You can't just hack your way to a husband by gaming the system.
You can. I think you can. I think you're a little bit harsh on this, men only. I think they can hack the system because they do it all the time. It's called simps.
Relationships don't work like that. If you want to attract the kind of partner you dream about, you've got to focus on being that person first. Otherwise, you're just outsourcing accountability for why things haven't worked out before. At the end of the day, ChatGPT can tell her all day long what a man might want. But the real question is she willing to take those answers and actually do the work? Because no prompt, no algorithm, no shortcut is going to replace the effort and self-reflection it takes to build a meaningful connection.
If she has nothing to fix, she will start drama as soon as possible, okay? This is very bad. If she has to start the drama first, this is very bad. You might be wondering why. Well, why would it be bad if she has to start the drama first? Here's why it's bad. If you're dating a woman and you're in love with her, you'll naturally get reactive when she does this and when she tries to add drama and when she tries to pull back, you will naturally get reactive because you're scared. You're scared to lose her. You're scared of the relationship ending. If you're in love with her, you will naturally get reactive and she will sense your fear of loss. As soon as that woman senses your fear of loss, here's what happens. This now signals low sexual market value. She sees that you don't have any other options besides her or that she's your best option.
Here's the thing. Sometimes you've just got to throw your hands up and walk away. Women bringing unnecessary drama, overcomplicating every little thing, and honestly, life's already stressful enough without someone turning it into a full-blown soap opera. Look, relationships shouldn't feel like a battlefield. They're supposed to add to your life, not drain the life out of you. But when every conversation is a power struggle, every situation has...
I've been in relationships like that where every conversation, everything is a power struggle. Everything is questioning my judgment. It is so annoying. I cannot get over it enough. It was probably the biggest pet peeve I had.
Some hidden meaning to decode, and every little issue becomes a major production. Who has the energy for that? And here's the truth. It's a no-win situation. If you engage, you're feeding into the chaos.
Yep.
If you don't, you're the bad guy.
Yep.
Either way, you're stuck in a loop of drama, stress, and emotional gymnastics. So why even bother? Sometimes, the best decision you can make is to leave her. No shade,
Agreed.
no hard feelings, just peace. Because at the end of the day, there's enough chaos in the world already. Don't add more by letting a woman's unresolved issues become your problem. Keep your head up, stay focused, and save your energy for someone who brings peace, not problems.
If you're not focusing on what a man does for you that doesn't benefit him, you are going to miss out on so many quality men, and it's the reason men are treating you like dog shit.
Ooh.
Men need to be doing things for you that doesn't necessarily benefit him. If he's doing things for you that benefit him, that doesn't necessarily mean he's a generous man, because he is also benefiting from what he is doing for you. You need to be seeking out men that do things for you that don't necessarily benefit him. Is he concerned with taking care of the things that you need to feel beautiful? Whether that's your mental health, whether that's taking things off of your plate, whether that's spending money on things that will help you. A lot of these things don't even require a whole bunch of money to be spent. You will be shocked. Men still won't do them for you. So understand that, ladies, a generous man is going to do things for you that does not benefit him. If he is only doing
This is why I say don't be generous men. Just be good men.
Doing things for you that benefit him, he is not a generous man. And that is why a lot of you guys get so caught up in dating men for dinners and trips and things that don't necessarily just benefit you, sis. They are also benefiting him. If you're solely focused on that when you're dating, understand, you will not.
I mean, yes, dinner benefits both of us, but I could have gone to dinner by myself and spent half the money. So me taking you to dinner still benefits you. I would have gotten dinner either way.
Not meet a quality, generous provider man.
Here's the thing. She might actually be onto something with this one, but let's unpack it. If you're only paying attention to what a man does for you that benefits him too, you're missing the bigger picture.
I agree with
Relationships aren't about keeping score or trying to figure out who's getting the better deal. It's about mutual effort and selflessness. But here's where the irony kicks in. A lot of women overlook this entirely, and then they're surprised when men stop trying. Newsflash, men aren't stupid. They know when they're being used, and
we're a little stupid. Some of us become simps and, don't understand that we're being used.
Know when their effort isn't appreciated. If you only care about the grand gestures that look good on Instagram or the what's in it for me.
That's where she's pointing at, is all these grand gestures that don't benefit me but only benefits her. These are all Instagram worthy type posts.
Moments. Don't be shocked when men stop putting in the work altogether. And then what happens? The same women will turn around and say, men aren't chivalrous anymore. Or why are all men trash? No, the problem isn't men. It's the way they've been treated. Men are simple creatures. They'll put in effort for someone who values it, and they'll check out when they feel like it's all take and no give. So yeah, if you're focusing on the wrong things, you will miss out on quality men. And the kicker? Those same men will be long gone while you're stuck wondering why every guy you meet treats you like dog shit. Sometimes, it's not about what a man does for you. It's about whether you even deserve the effort he's putting in. Food for thought.
Can I give you all a formula? Stop acting like there's anything wrong with you. Live your life like you are the baddest bee on the planet. Live like that. Stop reminding yourself that somebody left you, somebody cheated on you, somebody betrayed you. Because as long as you have that in your consciousness, you will continue to attract that. So live your life like there's not a damn thing wrong with you. If you a size 16, live your life like you a size 10. You a size 10, live your life.
Why are you telling them to be delusional?
Look at me. I ain't living my life like I'm 72.
Yes!
Okay? Live your life. Stop picking on yourself. Live your life like there's nothing wrong. And
I feel like people don't pick on themselves enough.
if you step into that, everything that needs to be cleaned, healed, released, surrendered will come to the surface. If you step into the vision you have of yourself, the things you need to let go of, the things you need to release, surrender, forgive, whatever, they'll come to the surface. When they come to the surface, do the work, let it go, and then go back into your best vision of yourself. We spend too much time focusing on the brokenness, focusing on what's wrong. That keeping it in your consciousness attracts more of it to you. You understand? You got to bless the X. And if someone shows up that looks like that, sounds like that, smells like that, bless them and go in the other direction.
Keita, we got to bless some X's.
Yes. And now
I know, right?
don't spin the block.
I know, right?
Yes.
Here's the thing. She said, stop picking yourself apart and live your life like nothing happened. And you know what? That sounds good on paper.
It does,
but let's get
no.
real for a second. That kind of advice works if you're ignoring petty stuff, like a bad hair day or spilling coffee on your shirt. But when it comes to the real stuff, the heartbreaks, the betrayals, the poor choices that haunt you, just brushing it off and pretending like nothing happened isn't always the move. Ignoring your past doesn't mean it goes away. If you don't take the time to sit with yourself, understand what happened, and why it happened, you're just going to keep living in the same loop. Same mistakes, same problems, same results. Growth isn't about pretending like nothing's wrong. It's about facing it head-on, owning it, and coming out stronger on the other side. Here's the kicker. A lot of women give this advice like it's some magic cure-all, but it's just a Band-Aid. Live like nothing happened doesn't help.
It's just keeping women in the Lulu land. Oh, you're nothing wrong with you. Keep thinking you're a 10. Live life like you're a 10 or size, even though you're a 16. That's the Lulu land.
If you're carrying unresolved baggage and toxic patterns into every new situation, healing isn't skipping steps. It's doing the work. So, yeah, stop picking yourself apart unnecessarily. But don't skip the hard stuff. Because ignoring it,
it doesn't mean you shouldn't criticize yourself.
That's how you end up back at square one, wondering why things keep going wrong. Live your life? Sure. But don't leave your lessons behind.
Babe, I got some bad news.
What?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay
Spit it out!
I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay the mortgage this month.
What?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to pay it.
What?
The mortgage payment. The mortgage, like our bills.
Did I miss something here?
No, I just don't know if I can afford it this month to pay it.
When have you ever paid the mortgage, baby?
When do you ever pay the mortgage?
Do you have a job?
Yeah, I work for you.
Who's our mortgage through, Billy?
I don't know.
Who's our mortgage through?
I don't know.
Honest question.
I don't know who it's through. I just know I can't pay it.
What is how much do we pay on our mortgage?
My mama taught
Bro, you're getting carried hard and she's cooking. You got a good one, I guess.
me that if that man is not solving all of your problems, then he is your biggest problem. She also taught me that men should be the 3 Ps: provider, protector, problem solver. I have been loving seeing that I can't pay the mortgage trend with these provider men because they're like laughing. They're baffled. They're like, what do you mean, baby? Like, no. So one guy came on here and he was like, I want to see the 50-50 couples start doing the trend. And you know what? They did. They started doing the trend. I know the economy is hard. I live in California. Trust me, I know. But I feel like after you have kids and at a certain age, like gender roles really do matter. Some of these guys' reactions are truly like giving me the ick. And I feel like it's rage bait. Like,
girl, the problem is the entitlement. And I disagree that men are not good problem solvers because I see it day in and day out. They have even pretty successfully problem solved women's entitlement and expectations. Their solution is to stay single.
Here's the thing. Imagine this. You're out here paying all the bills, covering the mortgage, making sure the lights stay on, and building a future. You're doing what you're supposed to do, handling business. Then one day, someone decides they're bored. Not unhappy, not mistreated, just bored. And what happens next? They walk out the door and take half of everything you've worked for, including the house. And here's the kicker. They don't even know where the mortgage payment goes or how to handle a single bill. Yet somehow, they're entitled to take what they didn't even contribute to. Make it make sense. Let's call it what it is, unfair. The system is broken, and this behavior is encouraged because there's no accountability.
I mean, saying unfair is, life is unfair. I wouldn't really use that.
Women want equality when it suits them, but the second it's time to face the same responsibilities men carry every day, suddenly it's crickets. This isn't about partnership anymore. It's about entitlement. And the ones who suffer the most? The men who genuinely want to build something lasting.
Yep.
They end up feeling used, betrayed, and questioning why they even tried in the first place.
And then end up becoming MGTOWs.
Here's the reality. Loyalty and effort go both ways. If someone's not bringing the same energy to the table, whether that's emotionally, financially, or otherwise, they shouldn't get a free pass to take what's not theirs when they decide they're done. Marriage and relationships should be partnerships, not one-sided investments. Men aren't walking away from commitment because they don't want love. They're walking away because they're tired of being treated like a safety net, only good for what they can provide, not for who they are. Until this imbalance gets addressed, more and more men are going to opt out, and honestly, who can blame them?
And you're right, I can't blame you guys, and I don't blame you guys.
Baby, I can't wait, because the devil is a liar and this is Lucifer, so stop.
Well, you might be the devil then. We'll see.
I am without a doubt 100% certain that he is my son's father.
Without a
Not only
doubt.
was I only sleeping with him, we were actually working on our relationship. We already have a child from a previous situation. We got back together. We're working on us.
At the time that Gio was conceived, we were not having no type of intercourse. We were not cool at the moment.
He went out and got 3 pregnancy tests, made me take all of them. They were all positive. And he was like, well, that's not my baby.
This is what it was. She was trying to get back with me, but I wasn't, so she probably felt like if we have a child, we might work out.
If he has any doubts, I carried the baby. I birthed the baby. If you have any doubts, go ahead.
Yeah, we know you don't have any doubts. How do you know what's in you if you don't even know about DNA?
Mine making you look stupid. That's why I'm here now.
Okay, so your point is I'm tired of hearing the denial. If you want a DNA test, let's take it now because I know you're the father.
Exactly.
Mr. Lee, you are not the father.
The devil.
I already knew it. I told you.
Don't look at me like that. I don't know God's
Who
plan.
else? It was you that was...
You just inject God in this?
I did not put him in this. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing. She gets humbled real quick when that DNA test comes back and confirms he's not the father. And suddenly, instead of taking accountability, she doubles down and becomes the real devil. Why? Because accountability is their kryptonite. Let's break this down. When things get tough, you'd expect someone to own up to their mistakes, right? Admit they were wrong, apologize, and try to fix it. But no, for some women, that's apparently asking too much.
It is.
Instead, they deflect, get defensive, or worse, play the victim. This woman knew what she was doing. She let this man...
my girl, when she does something wrong or something, she doesn't really apologize. She'll make like a cute face and like, all right, you did wrong. You don't have to say it.
Believe he was the father. Let him invest his emotions, his time, and likely his money into a child that wasn't even his. And when the truth came out, instead of admitting fault, she probably flipped the script, blaming him, society, or even the patriarchy for her own deceit. It's a masterclass in avoiding responsibility. And let's not ignore the damage this does to the man. Imagine
And
the
the child.
heartbreak, betrayal, and emotional trauma he must feel. He stepped up, likely thinking he was building a future for his family, only to find out it was built on a lie. And yet, somehow, society still expects men to be stoic and man up through all of it. But here's the real kicker. Accountability isn't just their kryptonite. It's almost taboo to expect it.
Ooh.
The moment you ask for it, you're labeled as bitter, insecure, or even misogynistic.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the man is left
They end up saying, why does it matter? Because the truth matters.
picking up the pieces while she gets to rewrite the narrative in her favor. So, what's the takeaway? Men, protect yourselves. Don't let guilt or societal pressure force you into situations without the truth.
And I agree. Don't have society force you or pressure you to be in a relationship or not. Don't even have me pressure you. The only reason I push it is because I know a lot of you guys want families, want kids, want these things. And if you want it, fight for it. I push it because I think it's just the best for men and women. To tell you the truth, if you don't want it, I'm also not going to be mad at you guys for not wanting it either. Society does screw things up. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time.